Hello, Lee. How do I pronounce your last name in English?
My last name, Hoogenberk.
Yeah, Hoogenberk.
Hoogenberk
Hogen Mountain.
Hoogenberk in English, I guess.
In English.
Yeah. It's funny because I hardly ever remember people saying my last name in English.
Yeah, because you lived in Portugal for 10 years?
Nearly 10 years.
Oh, and we just had a conversation. You said we were already actually living like in the moment. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah. Well, the beauty of this adventure going to Portugal was also because in those days, it's about 13 years ago now, I didn't really feel very at home in Holland.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like, didn't feel like I could ground here. And so I thought, my friends were already living there, two of my friends. So I thought, oh, okay, let's join them. And I didn't really have any plans. And that was also not really, my life was never really much like very much one direction. Okay, this is what I want in my life. I was searching, I was going places, I was traveling. But anyway, then I decided, okay, no, I'm not going to travel, but I'm going to live in another country, Portugal. And then from there, things were just appearing. Like I had a little bit of money to be able to start. And in those days, I was recently I did a study in a traditional Thai massage, which I practiced in Thailand. So then I had the idea, maybe I will go to the beach and I will give massage there.
And it worked?
No, because we didn't live near the beach, so I had to travel like 4 hours or so, and then a bit complicated. And I liked very much to stay in that place, which was very green, and we had our own water, our source.
Okay.
So it was, and then it was just like a little paradise in the middle of nowhere, actually.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And it was really like living day by day.
Yeah, because we were what was connecting us and is connecting us is like the childlike wonder.
Yeah.
And that we all it's all there, and it's not wanting to make something more out of it.
Yeah. So there's actually like you're at ease with what is every day. At least you were in Portugal.
Yeah.
Because in Holland, you see everyone is like already busy when I will retire and what will be my future in the next 10 years.
Yeah. Well, exactly. So I was not busy with the future in that sense. Maybe planning, because I did all kind of projects. Because I needed to make some income, and we were like pioneering there.
Yeah.
So I even was inventive to start to sell poffertjes on the streets.
Really? That's so fun.
and I had one, this cast iron, the old one, the old-fashioned one. And I built my own stand out of fabric and a table, and all very creative. And then I asked a friend in Holland or family, can you please send me not the cast iron one, but the one that is much cheaper from the Hema that is non-sticky. I don't know
the word
in
English.
So, and then they sent it to me, and then I asked permission to go to fairs and everything, and to be able to sell these poffertjes, these little pancakes. And so all these kind of things, well, I was just doing it, and it was giving a little bit of income, but mainly it was all discovering. And then after a while there came something else, and then I met some other people, and then I met my boyfriend, and then we started a restaurant,
Yeah.
Oh, and all of a sudden we were starting a restaurant, and you know.
So life was busy while you were making other plans. Well, you weren't even making plans.
No,
it was just unfolding itself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And how did you start your spiritual journey? Or you never started it actually?
I don't know. It was like this. When I was a child, my mom was starting her spiritual journey. And I was, I guess, 9 or something, 10, between 9 and 15, 16, that she was very busy with it. And, well, because of her, I got all this kind of information or ideas, and especially a lot of quotes that suddenly appeared in the toilet.
Oh yeah, just like in your toilet. I could
see. That's true. Yeah. I copied her now, but now it's not a problem for me anymore. But in those days, then there was something on the toilet wall, and it said, it's not the neighbor's fault. Don't point at the neighbors. Point at yourself, or something like that. And then, but the thing was that she was not able to do it herself. Because she was all the time pointing. So she was actually putting probably it there as a reminder to herself that she shouldn't point all the time at others or at my father, you know, like that. Yeah. So, and I felt, this is not right. So I didn't for a very long time. And also when I was 16, I met my first true love. Yeah. And then
your first true love.
Yeah.
My second true love.
Anyway, it was my big love. Yeah. And then my whole life went upside down, and then also that was for me a chance to break loose of everything, and also this idea of spirituality, because in a sense I felt that there was some I understood, because there was suffering, and she suffered, and she was looking therefore in other ways. So there was a search, and I always, even before my first relationship, I was always very reflective. I became very reflective. Okay. So I wrote poetry. And it was all, and I was also suffering. I also had pain because of the situations, and because of not understanding why is it like this and all that. So, but then I didn't start to look for spirituality in that sense. Okay. It's just that I met, and that's why I said my first love, because that was an important person in my life to give me really self-recognition, and also trying to understand how things are functioning psychologically wise. So I started to understand more about my frustrations and emotions because of that, and things started to fall in place, and I understood it, but also was many times unable to act upon it. Yeah. Because it was still very much in the middle of it. And then when you're in the middle of something, then it's very difficult to just let it be.
Yeah, you mostly get stuck in it a little, don't have an overview. And then you see that what people teach is actually what they have to learn themselves the most.
Yeah.
But did it start rationally at that point, and then became more part of your life automatically? How did things go?
I was very much wanting to be loved, and I guess that I was frustrated because I couldn't find it, even when I was loved in a relationship. Yeah. So that really brought me back to heartbroken feelings of losing everything. Yeah. And so after my first relationship, I was unable to have any other relationship for many years.
Wow.
Because I was just so lost. I was just completely lost. So then I started to, even didn't know what to study. Well, I could do many things, but I was not clear in my emotions or in my head.
Yeah.
You know, it was all mixed up. So in the end, I started to study fashion, and because I'm a very creative person, and I also wanted to go to the Academy for Art.
Kunstakademie.
Yeah, exactly.
It sounds really in English. Yeah.
You understand.
Yeah.
But in the end, I did fashion, and it was very nice. And so, but in the process of discovering things, I was always in a way very reflective.
Okay.
Yeah, and trying to understand why are things happening the way they're happening, and also knowing that there were insights that I understood why they were happening, completely clear to me, and that's also why many people asked me to help them.
Yeah.
Because I could see it very clear, but then I felt also awkward sometimes because I knew that I was not practicing exactly like my mom.
Okay.
Exactly like the example that I had in this pattern. So then sometimes I also felt, this is, maybe, but on the other hand, people like to have
you can even help people with that, even though it's not fully integrated in your life, of course.
Yeah.
And when you came across non-duality, I heard in the previous interview it wasn't much of a surprise for you. How did it feel?
It was. There was just recognition, only recognition, in the sense of, okay, so this is what they mean. This is what they mean by the word non-duality describes what my life, what this is about, what my life is, what the way I am experiencing it. And I just never heard the word, even though I've also seen the movie, the Mahabharata, because I like the mystics. I like mystic stories.
Yeah, beautiful.
Because they are like, they're speaking in metaphors, and it's beautiful. But I was never looking for a teacher who was mentally or rationally explaining.
Yeah.
And
because you are coaching people,
mm-hmm.
and what are these coachings about? What do you point to?
Always do the same thing.
You always do the same thing.
Yeah, and
you have a list of rules, you say.
More or less, it's always more. No, there's just absolutely no rules.
Okay.
That's just a funny thing, and I just listen.
Yeah.
And it always comes to the essence of not needing to do something special.
Yeah. Not
needing to go and gather more information because everything is already there.
Yeah.
And not needing to improve things, but see what is already there.
Yeah.
That's in a way that's always what it comes to.
What's the biggest struggle for people in their lives?
To accept the way life is, as it is.
And it simply is as it is.
Yeah.
But I think we're mostly conditioned with ideas that this present moment is just not quite good enough. You always have to be in the next step.
Yeah.
And then people, they suffer. And then you say?
Yeah. Just let it be and experience what it does, what happens then.
Yeah.
Just to let it fall wherever it falls. And this is also because I can only speak from my own experience as well, and I think that's also the way this human expression functions. Everybody makes experiences, and from these experiences, that's like your quadro, your frame that you relate to.
Absolutely.
And so, well, for me also, I lost many things, or I went through many processes of frustration and not finding, for example, to fill the emptiness, but the emptiness like a hole, you many times they feel the frustration and the powerful and the powerless feelings, and you can't feel it. It's like an ongoing thing, and that also I had to let it go.
Yeah.
And so from there I just gave into life, not knowing what comes next, and that gave in instant liberty.
Yeah.
It was scary. It was scary as hell, but it gave.
It's like you're driving in the car and suddenly you let go of the wheel.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my god, the car's still driving.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, exactly. That's what it is.
Yeah. But for a lot of people, that's quite a tough thing. You're so conditioned with the idea that you are a separate person and that you have to control your life and make the right decisions, and that you could have done things differently. How's your experience also with other people? Is this something you can just tell them, or is it something which is a long process for someone? What's your experience in this?
You mean with people in my own environment?
Yeah.
Well, there's not many people.
That's okay.
There's not many
just
people.
Those two.
Yeah, I find the question a little bit hard because
You just have no friends. I have no friends.
I have nobody to play with. No, it's not like that. But well, the what I noticed, for example, I came back to Holland.
Yeah.
And I first I stayed with a friend for a couple of months, and then it was in an area of Holland, the polder, and it was good. But after a couple of months, I felt like, it's good to go to the west where things are happening.
Actually, things happen here in life.
So then I asked my parents if I could stay there for a couple of weeks, because I thought I'm not going to stay very long.
Yeah.
And then that couple of weeks became months, and this couple of months became nearly 2 years. And in these 2 years, if you're asking about how is this in your environment, we didn't see each other for many years. Yeah. And our relationship was not bad, but it got another dimension by just being in the same house again. The house where I grew up. And I also was there like, okay, well, let's see what happens, you know? I was not there to say like, you should do it like this. All these things were not for me. I was just feeling like, I'm open to meet and get to know each other, like humans, like persons, not like just parents and child relationship. And that was very interesting, and I know that for the three of us, it all was very, very interesting, very, beautiful.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Because normally they say if you think you're enlightened, go and live with your parents.
Yeah.
And then we'll see.
Yeah.
If you freak out.
Of course, there were moments that were like clashing.
Yeah.
Because I was saying, I don't know what's going to happen next. Yeah, but when are you going? When will you have a house? And when are you? When do you have a job? And of course, I understand. And then I had to say, I'm really doing my best. But also, I trust. I feel so much trust in life. You know.
Yeah.
That was the beauty. Just and if they would say, okay, you have to get out on the street, okay, then I'm sure that would happen something else.
Yeah.
Because that happened already when I left.
But this is the deep trust that life is in a way carrying you instead of you are controlling life.
Yeah.
But that's like such a, let's say, surrender to really understand that this is just one energy in movement.
Yeah.
But you never found that quite scary?
Yeah, I did. Because the previous years in Portugal, it was not easy at all.
Okay.
I mean, it is a beautiful country, and we had a beautiful place where we could live. And we helped each other, and luckily we had each other, because therefore we carried each other in every way, actually, because just by helping physically, but also sometimes financially, we gave each other assignments, or we said, okay, well, I am a little bit better now, but you can help me with that. And then the other one was doing less. So, but many times it was very, very tight, and we had nearly no money.
Yeah.
And then we just had to, we always were inventive. What shall we do next? Oh, let's start a home restaurant. Let's go to the market and sell all the clothes that we have in our storage. Or I'm going to make jam out of the fruits from the neighbor land, you know. So it was always and that was a beautiful way of just living. I mean, it was really not easy, but it was the flexibility that you have in that way of living is beautiful, and it's most near to living as a child.
Yeah.
Really. It was really like, and then we met people, and people came, and we were always like, oh yeah, welcome, you know. This was like people also attracted to this, because it was like we were like a kind of a womb where everybody was welcome, and then we had abundance, even though we didn't have the material richness.
Yeah. And so you're saying just like a child. I think, isn't it so that we're longing as an adult for the freedom we had as a child?
Yeah, definitely.
So what's the difference between a child and an adult?
No difference. Just the body that is seems...
But it seems that the identification, the belief in the separation that you are someone gets stronger the older you get.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible that the identification gets stronger, but also that's the interesting part that I also experienced was while staying with my parents, and I'm the youngest of three, and my parents are, they are 80 in last year they became 80. So, I could say, and in many years I said also about them, why don't you change, and what's wrong with you, and I had all these. I said, well, you should divorce, and all these kind of things.
Yeah.
But then when I was staying with them, and I was just there, open, and also not expecting anything.
Yeah.
Because I was happy with whatever. Because I didn't have money, I was just happy with anything. So in that environment, everything came more gentle and soft in a way, and opening. And even while I was not saying, like I was already saying, you should do different. In this environment, energetically, things were how you say that, losweken. It was getting loose. It
Yeah.
was getting, patterns were melting away.
Yeah.
It was just beautiful, and I was seeing, and I was just, and inside I thought, oh yeah, this
That's
is so,
sweet.
yeah, it's so great. It's so great.
Is it the dropping away of all these thoughts that things should be in a certain way, or that they should be different? Did they fade away? All those expectations?
You mean with them or with me?
With everything.
It can. It can just drop away. I mean, with the me, it happened.
Mm-hmm.
A moment, and I was staying with my parents. I was just there a couple of months, and I looked at my mom, and I see nothing.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, there was just nothing to hold on to.
No.
It was just, and she energetically felt it. She was because she always could grab me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I know I can, influence you, or I know you, or whatever. And it was just like, what are you doing? What are you trying to do?
Yeah.
And
but this is what you often hear. If someone sees through the illusion, then it's harder for other people to manipulate you, because they fire all kinds of judgments or ideas upon you. And you're like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you also have that with friends, for instance?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, also friends that, well, as I said, I don't have many friends, but the friends that I have, they are dear to me. Sometimes there's just fixed ideas based on patterns from the past.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, and when this happens, I just let it. I don't go defending myself about anything. I just let it. And then energetically, it just happens. They start to behave different. That's actually what I noticed the strongest change happening around me.
Yeah.
That without wanting to change, and that was also something that I learned with my friends, researching all the psychological patterns and emotional patterns.
Mm-hmm.
That I always heard the same thing, like you don't have to change, you can never change somebody else.
Yeah.
Change starts here, not there. But that was just theory.
Yeah.
That was knowledge, knowing of something. And that's why, no, I don't think that's why, but for me, knowing was never superior to anything other than experience.
Yeah.
For me, life is really like one big, amazing roller coaster of all kinds of experiences.
Yeah. It's as easy as that, actually.
Yeah.
But it's a Zen story that says once you see this, you drop down your dirty laundry for a while, and it's like, wow. But then after enlightenment, they say, you pick up the dirty laundry again and you walk on. So what they actually point at is that even though you see through the illusion and this is all one movement, one dance, it doesn't mean that all your psychological damages, your traumatic experiences, that they are gone. Did you experience that as well? That certain conditioning still goes on?
I have really noticed that most of the conditioning, I mean, there is conditioning, of course. There's preferences, and there's...
Just like your cat here, it's conditioned.
Yeah. And I love spicy food, and I love
chocolate,
and I like sunshine. Yeah, precies. So, that I call that also conditioning.
Of course, yeah.
But conditioning in the sense of emotional...
Damages
or traumas.
Yeah.
What I do notice is that when I get in contact with people that are completely identified with their traumas,
Yeah.
that my body, mainly my body, starts to resonate with it.
Wow. Yeah.
So then it starts to resonate, and then of course the body, there's the memory in the body. It's all energetically somewhere there, memory. It's just build up energy. So I can feel this, and then I feel, oh yeah, this is not mine.
Mm-hmm.
But I could get upset or angry or something that gets triggered.
Yeah.
But mostly it's I recognize very quickly that it's not mine. And so it doesn't mean that I'm only sweet and everything, but there is a certain balance that is very stable. But that's just with me.
Yeah.
I know also other people that are very awakened in a way, and they don't have this at all. They are very chaotic or bad humor or frustrations.
And even people who have can be so strongly identified with their own pain, their own traumas, that it's part of their identity. I don't know if you've experienced this in coaching, but sometimes if you take someone's trauma away, it's like, oh, wait a minute, because it's part of who I am.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It could be so strong.
Yeah, exactly. That, because if you take that away, you can't take it away anyway. But if somebody's pulling at it, or people can get really offensive, because this became a new kind of comfort zone. This became a new safety. Being abused or being beaten or whatever trauma, that's the new shape in which love appears. And then you cannot even say mistaken, but this is just what's your experience. So this is what you have identified with. And for me, for example, it was one of my patterns was that I was unable to started to enjoy certain things.
Yeah, can you give an example?
Well, I remember that in my first relationship, that my partner said, because he was very much joy of life and living, and then I was many times unaware that I was sabotaging.
Yeah.
I was
sabotaging.
Yeah.
I think it's just an English.
Yeah. Unconsciously, I was sabotaging the situation. So I forgot my money, my wallet, for example, when we were going to do something nice, and so then I could feel a victim.
You bastard.
Yeah. Or I was just sitting. Yeah, just a little bit. I will just eat a little bit. And then he was like, so like completely opposite.
Yeah.
And so it was, for example, things like that.
But it's also a way to get attention at that moment.
Yeah.
And when we get attention, we feel someone, and we feel that the emptiness is gone, and we feel complete again. Or you didn't even feel complete with that.
Nee, it was the pattern was negative attention.
Yeah, of course.
Negative attention is also attention, and then you get attention, but in a negative way, and that was a pattern with me that was very, very strong.
Okay.
Even in Portugal, where I was living a paradise-like kind of life, many people were saying, you have the greatest life. It was completely illusion, because many times I was sitting in my beautiful built little apartment, and I was feeling completely frustrated and unable to flow and be open as life was evolving. So that was also part of it.
Yeah, and the world's only in your head, so you can go to Hawaii.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you feel frustrated.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you are, is it?
Yeah, exactly.
And now, you still have is life still a roller coaster? It goes up and down. or boring, smooth ride?
No, it's not. It's definitely something in between.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like there's emotions like and something like that, and it's also absolutely not boring, because in the past, even when I had a beautiful life, I thought that I was boring.
Okay.
And I even said to my friends, "Don't you think that I'm boring?" But it was just my perception of this frustrated and also stagnated energy, this cramp. It was very much cramp, also physically. So I guess that kind of energy you can perceive it as boring, because you experience it as a stagnated. It's not flowing. But no, so I guess my life is very much like it has absolutely ups and downs.
Yeah, maybe we could see it like you can be in the roller coaster and totally panicking and screaming and being so tense, or you could just be in it and the ride still goes on, but you're just like, let's go with the flow. Yeah. But I think that mostly happens when you don't steer the wheel in the roller coaster. We're like people, we think there's a steer in the roller coaster, and that we're doing it. Yeah, that's true. I guess that was happening with me too. Yeah. But maybe not so much, because my life was pretty... I always very much felt the victim in the traumas, in the patterns. It was just a pattern that I completely copied. So, no, I don't think that I ever felt that I was in control. Actually, I never experienced I was in control. I wanted to have control. Yeah. It was a contradictory. Yeah. And are there any big challenges in your life at the moment? Don't start to cry. A big challenge? No, I don't think so. No, I'm very much enjoying my life. I meet nice people, and recently I've had some interviews, and I'm doing very nice things. And I'm very much just letting my life organically happen as it happens. Yeah. And I also, apart from my personal website, I also started a project that's called freeflowing.org. And for now, what's it's about, it's exactly about this, it's about a free-flowing constant of life. Yeah. And I want to inspire and invite people to connect with it. But you're going to do talks, or you're already doing them? Yeah, I do also talks. Yeah. But not yet very frequent. So sometimes. You're so humble. Humble. Yeah, but it's got nothing to do with humble. It's just as it is. I just don't know where it's going to go next. No, okay. Maybe in a month I will be very busy. Yeah. I don't know. But as I also said to Patrick, I'm just open for any new projects and also working together. I would really like also to work together with other people. Yeah. Yeah, like creative, or all linked in this essence. Things that give another... I like dynamics. Yeah. Being in my own is also nice dynamic, but dynamics in a sense with others. Yeah. And just to give you some promotion, what's your website? My website is Lie Hoogenberk, dus L-I-E. It's impossible in English. Yeah. Lie Hoogenberk. Yeah, you have with a K. Yeah. Well, maybe you can mention it. I'll put it next to the website. Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks very much. Yeah. Well, you're welcome.